Hey, everybody, welcome to another edition of The Rundown with Ramon. My name is Ramon Ray, publisher of zoneofgenius.com. Today, we're talking to Erin Mittelstaedt. Did I get that right, Erin?
Yes.
Good. Erin Mittelstaedt, CEO of the Fruit Guys. Erin, glad you're here today. Appreciate you, and I hope all is well in your family and those who are meaningful to you. Welcome to The Rundown with Ramon.
Thanks so much for having me.
You're welcome. So, Erin, I know the focus of our discussion today is really to talk about appreciation. And appreciation is a broad word. I have two children. I can appreciate them. You can appreciate the good weather, but we want to talk in particular about just employees appreciating their employees. But before we do that, can you just give us a little synopsis? What is the Fruit Guys? What's your role there? Give us an overview of the Fruit Guys and who you serve and what's all about. I have some ideas. I know it's fruit and there's guys in there, but we'll see what you say. Talk to me.
Yeah, I'm the CEO of the Fruit Guys. We're a family-run B Corp business. We've
Nice.
been around for over 27 years. My brother started the business here in San Francisco. We deliver fresh fruit and snacks to offices, schools, and homes all across the country, and we ship out of 11 locations nationwide.
Wow, that is powerful. When you ship these, just give me an idea. And again, I've been to the site. Is it like, hey, here's a box of a variety or type of fruit? Or is it the fruit like, here's a box of fruit that's designed in some configuration like the Statue of Liberty or something? Just give me the context
No,
of.
we love to give the best of the season. So we hand select all of our items. We work with local farmers whenever we can, and we're really providing a variety of mixed fruit. So it's perfect for the office. You just put your fruit out in the pantry, and you've got a mixed variety of the best in the season shipped right to your door.
Got it. So not so much, even though I'm guessing it could be gift box-ish. You guys are not trying to compete there, but it's more, as you said, fresh fruit to an office or other location. That's what Fruit Guys does. Fair.
Right. Yeah, we're most of our clients work with us weekly, every other week. It's a regular thing, less of a one-time gift, although we do those as well.
Sure, sure. Well, I'm curious, what are some popular foods? Any trivia? And again, if you're not prepared for it now, but I was just curious, like, do people buy grapes more? Is it apples more? Bananas? Any top two or three fruits that like overwhelmingly the Fruit Guys deliver?
Bananas is the number one office pick. Everybody in the office loves the bananas. What people argue about is when to eat them. Do you like them more yellow? Do you like them more green? So we work really hard at Fruit Guys to deliver a perfectly yellow banana with green tips so it serves everybody in the business.
I love
But yeah, bananas by far are the most popular.
I love that. Well, Aaron, let's dive right into it and get some key points from you. I mean, it may seem obvious. Why is it important for employers to appreciate their employees? That's only, four or five words. But let me hear from you. Give me a TED talk, as it were, a TEDx talk on this important. And why is it so important? Is that something that you find is missing in corporate America or corporate world? Is that, it seems like, why should I even say it? Like, love your dog. I mean, why?
Yeah, it's obvious, right? And when we first started the business 27 years ago, we had to convince people why fruit should come into the office. Coffee was a pretty big staple, but this idea of fruit and all of these other things, that was sort of bizarre. But it was the beginning of the dot-com boom, and employees were trying to keep their employees at their desk.
Mm.
So they would bring in, all kinds of treats, and this is where all these perks started to happen to really attract high level tech workers. So this trend started, but fruit was still not part of it. It was about all of these other things. And I think we've really seen a shift, particularly since COVID, of a lot of businesses really wanted to engage their employees, really wanting their employees to be happy and feel satisfied at work because they know ultimately those employees will be better and more productive. They'll be better team members. I don't know about you, but when I eat something healthy, I feel different than eating something like a candy bar that's going to make me feel sluggish. So I think it starts with employers wanting to keep and retain their employees, but then I think it really has these ripple effects where employees feel really valued and then can be more productive in their jobs.
Yeah, as we do this discussion, of course, we're in the midst of a lot of turmoil, and I'm definitely not getting political at all, but just talking about because it's not even the government, it's private companies. You all may have had to, for all that matters, but talking about the aspect of the employee appreciation versus we have a business to run. How does your team, how do you do that? What's your advice to others who are like, yeah, we're $100 million company, but the economy tanked or this happened, and what do we do? So you appreciate your employees, but how do you manage that, I guess, with realities of the economy? What's your advice to leaders that are like, yeah, we want to be careful, we want to care, but we have a business to run. How do they manage that?
Yeah, I mean it's challenging. I mean, we run a small family business and produce is not the most profitable. And so I think you have to be realistic about what you can do. So one of the reasons that our employees have worked with us so long, we have some employees who have worked with us over 20 years out of our 27.
Nice.
It's because I think they are treated with respect,
Mm.
they are heard, so their feedback is valued. And I think there's a fair amount of flexibility. So I think each business has to decide. I always think fruit should be on that list, right? Fruit should be in there
You're a
as
little
that thing
biased.
that you just can't cut for your employees. But each business has to decide, hey, what's most important that's really going to keep our employees working, because you have to motivate them to work through difficult times, and that is still showing care, and that could be in the form of fresh fruit, that could be in the form of flexible PTO, flexible working hours. I think it really has to align in an authentic way with the business's culture.
Is it fair to say that money might even be secondary, or I don't know what the big word is for third tier? I don't know what the big, but is it fair to say that money, even though it is important, you need to be paid, I need to be paid, we all got, money's important. I think it's a given. But from what I'm hearing you say, it seems like sometimes it could be, nope, I didn't leave because I didn't get a raise. I just didn't feel appreciated. Nope. I didn't leave because I wanted more money. I just asked you all, could I take off one Friday a month to go take care of my mom? Whatever. Am I hearing that from you? Is that fair?
I think that's true. And there has been some studies that have shown that employees don't often leave a job because of money first. It might be because of a bad boss or a bad culture. Or so I do think that is part of it. And for a business, of course, money is important, but I think people also want to have purpose and mission. I heard a phrase from Organic Valley, the milk company, once, which I've always loved, which was, there's no mission without margin. So I think being transparent that, hey, the business has to make money so we can all pay for our lives, but we want to do that in a way that also makes you employee cared for and valued as part of our system.
Yeah. Is there anything at the Fruit Guys that you all, because fruit can be, well, I don't know what it can be, but you're getting the fruit, the logistics of the fruit. It's not like it's a SaaS cool software company with AI powered data flops and NVIDIA chips. So, what is the message? What is the thing where you tell your team, your employees, the lady or guy right next to you, or somebody in another state, here's why we do this. Is there anything that you all hone in and why somebody's there for 20 something years? If that
Yeah.
makes sense what I'm trying to ask.
Yeah, it's a great question. For us, our mission has always been about feeding those in need and supporting small farms. And so we have a fiscal nonprofit that gives grants to small farms. We also donate all of our produce. So there's been a trend in the past year, 10 years around selling imperfect produce. That works for some people. For us, we donate it because we need, some food banks, some local shelters may not have access to fresh fruit otherwise. So those are really been part of our core mission. The other thing that we find is people in our business just enjoy bringing joy to others. Like, people rally around food. So sharing food with others, being the one that delivers that perfect banana or that kiwi berry that someone's never seen before, our team really loves sharing that joy with other people.
And I like that aspect. I was doing an event called Genius for Good some weeks ago. I was going to do it. And I think what I'm hearing you say as well is that, the corporations who can afford it, highly profitable clients, great. We want them. They pay you, and possibly you're able to use some of that. And Karen, correct me if I'm wrong with the wording, but to help others, which is, it's not quite nonprofit, but I think that's where the B Corp comes in. Can you help
Yep.
me unpack my awkward way of asking that and help unpack what I'm trying to ask you and explain to others?
No, you're totally right. Right. All of our clients give us the funds that help us then support others through our donations, through the community fund. We have some clients. We work with a partner, Aramark, that made a large donation to the community fund to fund these grants. So yeah, without, again, it kind of goes back to that no mission without margin. Without sort of the successful business structure, we wouldn't be able to do the good in the world. That's really important to us.
I love that. Erin, before we close, is there anything that you enjoy doing for your team? I don't, or suggestions like I don't know if you give gift cards, just stop by and give a thank you card. I don't know, but can you give me one or two things either that you do or just metaphorically that leaders who want to show more appreciation besides the dollar that you may say, Ramon, here's some simple things a small or big company can do to show the light. And we know getting fruit is one of them.
Yes, getting fruit is one of them, and can be a fairly cheap way to really support health and wellness. I find something that's authentic is the most. I mean, we did for
Mm.
Employee Appreciation Month in March, we did handwritten notes. So I sent every employee a handwritten note. we gave half a day off, and we asked teams to take it together so you didn't feel pressured that somebody was working and you weren't. But like, hey, just go have a day, go enjoy. I think it's really giving people the space and time, something that resonates with them. If you're a company that likes to give gifts, gives gifts. If you recognize people publicly, which you should do all the time, not just once, but really leaning into that. So I think there's a lot of opportunities to bring people together too. We just did a Family Feud event about an hour ago where we had 25 people on the call playing Fruit Family Feud, and everybody's laughing. And now with remote staff, it's important to find these unique ways to make people connect beyond the work. So those are some things that we've enjoyed doing.
I love that, Erin. That is very powerful. I remember one day I was working at the United Nations before I was fired, or actually before my contract was not renewed, and my boss put his hand on my shoulder. I'll never forget the feeling of his hand. He was a Frenchman. And he said, Ramon, and if I talk too long, I'll cry about it right now. And he said in his thick French accent, Ramon, it's a terrible accent, but Ramon, I appreciate you. Erin, I never forget how it felt. It just like electricity went through my body. So I'm
Yeah.
just hopefully underlining, amplifying what you said. And again, in this day and age, whether you put the hand on the shoulder or ever, but the principle is appreciation. I love what you said also about acknowledging people in front of others. There's nothing, I can tell Erin, she did a great job right here. But man, the room was full of 500 of our team members. I'm like, Erin, could you just come to the stage 1 second or come to the Zoom meeting? And I'm saying, by the way, everybody, Erin kicked butt. She is the one who got us, blah, blah, blah. Erin's gonna beam and like me. Come on, now I'm all that in the bag of chips. So, Erin, anything else you wanted to share with us? Talk about? I know we're talking about the power of employee appreciation. Erin Mittelstaedt, I still got it right. Last name,
Yep.
Erin
Perfect.
Mittelstaedt from the FruitGuys, talking about employee appreciation. Anything else I didn't ask, or anything you wanted to mention before we go today?
No, I just want to share. I mean, I loved your example, and I think why it was probably so powerful was because he was sincere. And so I think that's with all of this, whether you're showing appreciation, whether you're trying to encourage health, you have to be sincere.
Mm.
And you have to make sure that whatever you're doing is in line with the company. If you are asking people to work 20 hours a day, if you don't let them take PTO, it doesn't matter how many times you appreciate them or bring in healthy fruit. It's not a good environment. So nothing's good. You got to fix and make sure that core of the environment is healthy, and then all of these other ways are just to make people feel valued and special, which I think in the end is all that we really want.
Absolutely. And I think we can find you all at thefruitguys.com, I believe.
That's
Okay.
correct. Yeah, you can get our fresh fruit and snacks there at fruitguys.com.
I love it. And again, everybody, my name is Ramon Ray, publisher of zoneofgenius.com, talking to Erin Mittelstaedt, CEO of The Fruit Guys. Thank you, Erin, so much.
Thanks so much for having me.